Good evening, everyone. My name is Latoya. This is day 7 of my video blog of my 90-day challenge. So I have 83 more days to go. So we're going to see where this goes. I'm already looking at expanding because I don't think this laptop video webcam thing is going to really work. I think I need to actually go get a real camera now, but we'll see what happens because I kind of want to take this on the road. But this is day 7, and I'm keeping up with it, right? Yay! So kudos to me. I know I'm patting my own self on the back, right? So tonight I'm a little conflicted as what I wanted to talk about, um, and I think I'm gonna go with what I feel in my heart right now to discuss. And I'm probably gonna lose some people on this, but it's okay. So I'm driving home. Well, I'm not driving. My sister's driving. So my sister's driving me home. We just went out to dinner together tonight, and I see this guy. He's walking home. He has on one of those reflector vests, and he has a stop sign in his hand. So it's like he's a crossing guard of some kind for some school. And it got me thinking about things and how they are now with people. And I know people tell me it's like a Detroit paranoia, that it's a Detroit thing. And it may even expand to being more of an urban, living in a city life, so a more urban attitude or perception. But I just don't think it is. So I remember one day I made a comment to my sister, and she really disagreed with me. And she used the movie to help, to correlate what she's talking about. Um, the comment that I made is that I sometimes wonder if segregation, the breaking up of desegregation, that's the real word, if desegregation was actually really good for us. Because, and the reason I say that is it's not necessarily bowing down to some other race or one race being better than the other. It has nothing to do with that. The whole reason I made that comment is because I see how we, and when I say we, my fellow African Americans, blacks, whatever you want to call yourself, whatever label you're giving yourself, when we together nowadays, there's no unity amongst us. Um, we're pretty separate. And I understand it's not just us, America as a whole has become more of an individualistic society where everybody is looking out for themselves and what's best for them. It's not even about what's going on in family anymore. It's about what's best for me as a person and what I do in my life, not even about what goes on in your own family. So even like with your own parents and things, a lot of what used to go on doesn't go on anymore. Like it used to be where you took care of your parents, where when they became the elderly or they needed help, you took care of them. And we are pulling back away from that to where a lot of times it's like, okay, well, I'll just put them in nursing home. Somebody else can deal with them. I ain't got time for that. And that's the whole ideal of what I mean when I say the whole desegregation. I wonder exactly, was it really the best thing for us? And I know some people are really getting angry with me right now, and I really don't mean for that. And I'm hoping that what I'm really saying can come out. The reason I'm saying this is that back in the day when we used to have all of this, when racism was at its peak, and I'm not saying it's diminished by any way, any means. You can look at the news every day and see that. But what I'm saying is back then there was a unity amongst people, whether good or bad. There was unity. It was unity in the black community. It was unity in the Latino community. It was unity in the Asian community. It was unity in the white community. Regardless of what it was that they unified themselves to doing, it was still a unity that was set in there. And it used to be a time where you could see somebody like this gentleman I saw tonight walking home, and me being another one of his same nationality, stopping and say, hey, it's dark out here, it's late, how about I give you a ride home? There is no way in HE double hockey sticks is that going to happen right now. Yes, I said HE double hockey sticks because y'all know how to spell. So there's no way that's going to happen nowadays, especially not in this society and especially not in this city. And I don't care where you are. I don't really think it's going to happen anywhere unless you're in some small town where everybody knows everybody and you already know who it was that was walking on the side of the road. Then you'll go ahead and pick them up and take them home. But outside of that, it's not going to happen. I mean, you have times where I teach my boys because I have two boys, 16 and 18. Well, he'll be 18 next month. So 16 and 18, and I treat them to be respectful. I teach them to be courteous. I teach them to look out for other people. So if we're out someplace and I see some elderly woman with this 36 pack box bottle things of water or whatever, package of water, I'm going to tell my boys, go over there and see if she needs some help getting that in her car. But 9 times out of 10, she's going to say, no, thank you. Nope, I got it. Even though she's going to struggle to get that water in there. And that's because of how our society has become, where we have reached a limit to where we're so individualistic. There is no unity among anything, not even in the family. It's just all separated and it's all about me as a whole. Now, please don't get me wrong. There are instances where I do it as well. And I understand that. It's human nature, as far as what we've been taught. We're going to do what we were taught to do. And this is something that has been taught to us throughout time. Even those who weren't born here in the States, who have come over here, their children are starting to grow up and be that same way. It's like we're seeing it in them. However, they do maintain their family, what's the word? See, this is why I shouldn't be doing this late at night because now I can't think of words. But the unity amongst the family that ties that they still understand that part. They're still going to hang out with their cousins. They still appreciate the family. They still look out. But there's still that individualisticness into them, especially in the males, to where I'm going to do what it is that I want to do and not necessarily what you want me to do. And it's really sad to me that we've come to this point. Because, like I said, back in the day, we looked out for one another. You took care of your parents. You took care of your grandparents. You took care of your neighbors. You looked out for other people. And I can't remember what class it was, but they said you can always tell what's the word? You can always tell how a society is based off of how they treat the young and the elderly. The young, the elderly, and the handicapped. When you can judge a society by how they treat those 3 categories. Because if they look out for the kids and they take care of the kids, then they understand that those children are going to one day take care of them. If they take care of the elderly, they understand that one day they're going to be the elderly. If they take care of the disabled, then they know it's in their heart to take care of somebody else outside of themselves. But then you have to think outside of yourself. You have to think higher than just yourself. And you have to understand that what goes on with you, how it affects everybody else. It's a domino reaction. Domino, really, that's exactly how it is. What you do and how you think and how you react to things affects everybody around you. As parents, we try to teach this to our children. You go to school, you do the work that you're supposed to do. You're not a distraction to other students who are there trying to learn. That's what we teach our children. But that's also something that we need to teach ourselves. Because when you go on your job, and you do the job that you're doing and you're sitting there and you're slacking, somebody else has to go and pick up the slack that you're doing. And we don't think about that. Always think about, well, it's me. Well, I don't feel good today. Well, I'm not this or I'm that, or I shouldn't have to, or that's not my job. Regardless of what it is, if you know it needs to be done, just do it. It shouldn't be just those special people. Oh, you're a goody. Oh, you think you just think you just gonna try to be the boss of everybody, huh? You trying to climb the ladder all quick and fast and stuff. We have these negative connotations of things that go on with other people when they're just basically doing what you want. If you don't take pride in your job, then don't be mad at somebody else who does. Because that's what I mean. It's a domino effect. It affects everybody. What you do affects everything that goes on with everybody else. If you're a slacker, guess what? You're going to have kids that are slackers. Why? Because they're watching you be one. So if you want your children to be more than what you are, then you be more than what you are. You don't accept what you do. And then you teach your children not to accept it as well. So if you don't like the fact that you smoke and you don't want your children to smoke, then guess what? You need to stop smoking, boo-boo. Okay, okay, honey, stop smoking. And then you don't have to worry about them doing it. You know, you don't want them stuck in your neighborhood or doing the same things and working hard and killing themselves every day on the job. Then guess what? Take an initiative. Why don't you try to step out of it? See what you can do. All these programs and things that's out here for people to better themselves, I'm sure it's something that you can do. You want your children to be better than you, then you start trying to be better than you. That's all I'm saying. It just seems like as a people, I'm not really breaking it down to race. I really is because it's not about race. It's about us as a people. We used to look out for one another. We used to be concerned. We used to help each other out. You know, it used to be a time when you knew your neighbors, and if you ran out of a sugar, you can go next door and say, "Go ask Miss Williams." Oh, you could say, sorry for that little glip, but you can go ask Ms. Williams down the street. Oh, go ask her if we can borrow a cup of sugar. You know, you used to be able to do things like that. You know, it used to be neighborly where, okay, somebody who's elderly, you go out there and you shovel their snow. Whatever the case may be. It used to be a time when we used to do things for one another and we were unified. And then you have those times when it was a war going on and people unified just because they were Americans. I mean, what happened to those days? What happened to those courtesies that we used to give each other, how we used to treat each other? And that's really what it is that it boils down that I'm talking about, is that we need to stop being so individualistic and become more of a community, more of unified whole. You know, take care of everybody and understand that it's not always just about you. So I think that's enough preaching for tonight, but I really hope you do get the message that I was trying to share tonight, because it's something that is really sensitive with me. You know, I'm really sensitive with it, and it really pisses me off, especially when you have people like my neighbors who inconsiderate of other people, you know, and just, or I'll give you, prime example. I got the best example. My mom was watching this movie the other day when I came over there. I don't remember what the name of it was, so please don't ask. But she was watching this movie, and the mom and the son was sitting there talking off on the side of the road because the son's car broke down. And the mom said, you know, she wanted her son. I want you to do better than what you're doing. You know, you need to, you know, unemployment isn't going to last forever. You need to get off of it. So he broke down real serious. He's like, you know what? What I want to do is I want to settle down, and I know how you want grandkids, so I want me to have some grandkids, you know, and you know, settle down with a nice girl and everything, so then I can get on welfare. And it's just like, it's like you want to be in there helping her beat him down in his head, like, boy, you fool. That ain't what I'm trying to tell you. It ain't about somebody taking care of you or you doing a bare minimum for your life. It's about you getting up and getting out there and doing something too. You know, and not only that, but giving back, you know, doing things for people. I mean, you don't have to go out there and spend money. But you know your neighbor next door has a hard time walking. Take their garbage out on trash day. How hard is that? Take the trash can out to the street, put it back. How hard is that when you know they have a difficult time doing it? If you see somebody struggling with a package, what's wrong with saying, hey, you need a hand with that? You know, but that's the catch-22. You never know who's out trying to get you either. You know, who's going to sit back and say, okay, well, let me help you get this in the bag while I sat there and beat you in the head and run off with all your stuff, which is why we're so paranoid, which leads me back to the whole beginning of us being individualistic society. Because if the person who understood the fact that they are not alone, that this is a community, and that you treat other people like you want to be treated, I mean, you truly take that phrase to heart, then you wouldn't have to worry about somebody trying to beat you in the head because they're trying to be nice. But I don't know. That's just my thought. I don't know. You can share your comments like always. You know, you always post comments. I don't mind. And if you like what was done today, hey, subscribe, right? So, or like it, you know, hey, like my video. But anyway, so I hope you guys get the message out of this. I really do hope it didn't get lost and that you don't just get stuck on the fact of race, because that's not what I'm talking about. And you have a good night, because this is getting kind of long now and I'm babbling. So, all right, good night, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. I got to do it at least once. Yay. All right, well, good night.